everyone. It is Saturday night at GRL. We're all having a wonderful time, and I would like to, very happy to introduce my first two non-author interviews, which I am quite happy.
Sorry guys, we're not as exciting.
They lie, and you're about to find out. Everyone, this is Sarah Frantz from Riptide, your editor.
I am the acquisitions editor at Riptide Publishing.
So, like, when you do a submission, she's the one who looks at it first.
I'm the one who makes you cry.
She kills dreams.
I kill babies.
I kill dreams. And this is Amelia, and she has an amazing story that I really actually want to hear. So, if you don't mind,
no,
I'm going to ask you to let us know more about you. Hi,
I'm Amelia, and my oldest son, from the time he was a little boy, always had boyfriends and never had girlfriends. And then he watched the show Glee and fell in love with Blaine.
Didn't we all?
On Glee.
Didn't everyone?
And he would be looking at his picture and he would say, "Mama, he is so pretty." And I said, "Yes, baby.
Yes.
You are correct. That is a very handsome man."
There's no correcting on that one. Yep.
And when we were actually having a really bad day, and to make myself feel better, I wrote 500 words about how awesome my kid is and about his first love that's Blaine on Glee, and how, we didn't know if our kid was gay, but if he was, we were really glad he was ours, because we were going to celebrate him and cherish him for everything that he is, and never, ever let him think he is lesser. And we used to joke, because he would, "Oh, honey, I'm going to have to hug you in a minute. It's going to be really awkward with the camera, sorry." But, and he told us that he was just like Kurt and Blaine on Glee, and that he didn't want to hold hands and kiss girls. He wanted to hold hands and kiss boys and have boyfriends. And we used to always joke that when he was 14 or 15, if he ever came out to us, we would be like, "I told us when you were 6, no big deal." Well, little did we know that when he was just turned 7 years old, he started identifying as gay and described himself that way.
Wow.
And you know what? We were surprised because you don't really hear about a gay 7-year-old. But, since then, it's been an adventure, and it's been, it's kind of like parenting in a vacuum, because, not a lot of people have done this before us. Mm-hmm. No one else is writing about it, and we've got to figure out what kind of things we need to do to make his life the best life it can possibly be. So we've become huge advocates, and we talk to his principal and his teachers and let them know what we expected of them, and let them know.
Didn't give them a choice.
No,
you have no choice.
Oh no, we did not give them a choice. We said that homophobia and anti-gay hate speech needs to be treated the same way racist hate speech is, and our son is amazing.
Tell them a story about the civil rights.
Oh,
I love this story.
Yay, I want to hear a story.
Well, in 2nd grade, because he's in 3rd grade now, he came out to us in 1st. They had a unit on civil rights, and at the end of the unit, they all had to do a little, presentation thing about a civil rights leader. And the teacher came to me ahead of time and said, "Kids usually want to pick someone they identify with. So I would like to put Harvey Milk on the list for your son. And he doesn't have to pick him,
Mm-hmm.
but, we want him to be available." And I'm like, "Do I mind?"
Why did you ask?
Yeah, that's like amazing. And of course, as soon as he heard about Harvey Milk, he's like, "I'm picking him." And then we were like, "Well, baby, you're supposed to have like 3 choices." And he's like, "No, I'm picking him." And I have no idea where he gets that either. And
Really?
yeah. I don't
Not at all.
I've only known you for about 5 minutes. I can make a wild guess.
So teaching Harvey Milk's story to my son was very difficult because it's a world he does not know. My child has, never experienced homosexuality. It's a negative thing. He's, been raised with, we're really lucky. We have a lot of friends who happen to be gay and lesbian, and so it's a really natural, normal part of his life. And having to explain the way that gay people were perceived and, explaining what the closet is, because my kids never had one, never had a need for one. And, just having to teach your child hate is hard. And so it was really difficult. And, but, we studied, and most of the kids had a, 2 or 3 minute presentation because let's be serious, second grade.
Yeah.
And that's fabulous. And my son spoke for like 20.
Wow.
And he's really, really shy. And he got up in front of the class and he's looking at his feet because he's so shy. And he says, Harvey Milk was killed because he was gay. And then he looked up at the class and at his classmates and said, Harvey Milk was killed because he was gay, just like me. Holy shit. And I gotta tell you, it doesn't take much to make me like crazy proud mama. I'm like sharing a cookie with your brother without me telling you to. I'm like,
You tied your shoes. It's going.
yeah. I'm like really obnoxious that way, but I gotta say, one of my just proudest moments, because it wasn't about me. It wasn't about me at all. It was about him, and just, him overcoming his shyness and him being able to educate. And after I came home from work, because his teacher was wonderful, and she called me and she's like, oh my God, you can't believe what happened in class today. And so when I got home from work, I was like, hey babe, how'd the presentation go? And he was like, Mama, none of them had ever heard of Harvey Milk. But I think they're gonna tell their parents.
That is so awesome.
And I'm like, how can you not think that kid's fabulous?
He's
And if you don't, you're not worth my time.
seriously. So you wrote, was it a Tumblr post that someone was?
A Tumblr post started it all, and that was just the one about how cool my kid was. And then the Huffington Post was about to start the Gay Voices vertical on the Huffington Post. And Noah Michelson, who is an amazing human being, asked me to write for them, and I said, baby, I'm not a writer. What are you talking about?
See this thing you did?
And he was like, I don't care. And what also happened when that first Tumblr blog came out was we heard from hundreds and hundreds of gay children who were in very negative experiences with their parents. And it was really, like, I cherish every single word every single kid ever writes me, and please, if you watch this, please write me. But to be able, it's such a privilege to be able to send them my love.
Oh God.
And because that's what they need. They need a parent who's gonna act like a parent and know that if you are not prepared to love and cherish and celebrate your gay child, you should not be a parent, because we never know if our kids are gay, and parenting is a choice, and that is the choice you made, so you better be able to do the job.
Hell yeah.
Have you seen that that advertisement from Australia? Honey, we're having a lesbian.
No.
It's about marriage equality, and it's about, like, treating
God,
people like people, and you have these, the mother and the father, and they're having the ultrasound, and they do the ultrasound, and they look at the little thing on the screen, and they're like, oh, do you want to know what you're having? Yeah, we want to know what you're having a lesbian. Oh, we're having a lesbian, and it's a celebration. They're having a lesbian, like, yay! But like just to juxtapose the ridiculousness of, what that means. And like you should be just as celebratory about having a boy or a girl or, somebody who's gay or straight or trans or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
You're
all
having a baby.
about the love,
Yeah.
baby. But no, all of those kids had written to us, and we were writing all of them back, and I finally got to a point where I said, their parents aren't standing up to them, or standing up for them. If they're not gonna do it, I need to. And to make any other choice is cowardly, and I won't do it. And so I started standing up for them, and then my kid came out of the closet, or his non-closet, because his reaction when he told me was, God, Mom, haven't you figured this out already? You are so slow.
So he walked through the doorway.
Yeah.
I saw you when you were still
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, closet, I
It's
don't
like,
know.
there isn't a door here.
But since he started identifying as gay, the blog's really changed and been about, this new amazing, crazy adventure we're on, having a gay grade school. So.
That is so awesome. I'm going to get the URL from you and like flash it at the bottom right here. Editing note, but like on the bottom right here, just like people can click on and read your story, because that's just, God, I wish there were more parents like you.
And I have a really hard time when people praise me for the blog, because I don't think I'm doing anything special at all. I'm loving my child. Isn't that a parent's job?
And that's the best part, is the fact that is so easy. It should be so easy, but people make it so complicated because my child is different and oh noes.
Yeah.
But it's,
it is what it is, baby.
Yes.
And I have a fabulous kid, and and I actually have 3 fabulous kids. I have 3 boys. They're all amazing.
How
And
did
I
they
am
take it?
like it's really normal to them too. It's not a big deal.
Awesome.
Although I did have to have a talk with my oldest son, because when my middle son went to kindergarten, he found a little girl and decided they were going to get married.
Aww.
And he is
And
telling
all
his brother about
Ew!
this.
Why would you want to kiss a girl?
He's like, that is so gross. And I
heterophobia in the family.
And I actually had to say, honey, it is totally fine if your little brother likes girls. We cannot help who we fall in love with. And you need to be celebrating of who your brother is. And he's just like, Mom, it's nasty.
That's like the best reverse situation ever.
My son had to come out to me as straight.
Yeah.
Because we're very careful about using gender pronouns when we talk about future partners for our children. And at one point he was 11, and my husband said something about, when you bring a girl home, and I said, or a boy. And he was doing his homework in the dining room. This exasperated little voice comes through the dining room, Mom, I'm straight. And my husband's immediate reaction was, how do you know? You're only 11, how do you know you're straight? You might be able to change your mind. And my reaction was like, it's okay, honey, I love you anyway.
That is so awesome.
Maybe your brother won't be a disappointment to me.
But no, and people think my kid hates girls, and that's why it's all about boys. And I'm like, his best friend's a girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a vast difference between, the usual kid hate where like, ew, girls are icky, ew, boys have cooties, and just not wanting to kiss them.
Yeah. And he's like, and little girls will try to be his girlfriend because he's cute. And he's just like, I have boyfriends. I do not have girlfriends. We can be friends. Like his best friend's a girl.
It's an ABF in training. That is so awesome and so incredible. And thank you so much for sharing the story. I'm trying to hold it together. It's also been a very long day.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you for, having me on here and asking me to tell it.
it's awesome.
It's so sweet of you.
And thank you for I'm so glad you're like,
I love Amelia.
like
I'm trying to like give her all the love in the world.
And Sarah is my friend.
Yay.
I don't know about that.
So I'm gonna feel like a complete monster because I'm gonna go from inspiring, awesome story
To
to
somebody who-
Killing your dreams.
That's me.
So, and I actually have notes on this one, so I'm going to sound remotely more intelligent, like, I'm going to cry. So, first question.
May we pause for a moment?
So, first of all, congratulations. Riptide is what, technically 3 years old?
Two this month.
To this month. And you guys have had a lot of amazing sales. You had that 1 week of open submission.
Yes.
And like, how was the reply to all that? Like, how inundated were you?
How inundated were we? Pretty darn inundated. We don't usually have open submissions. It's usually invitation only, conference meeting, or agented submissions. Because we're a pretty small outfit at the moment, we don't have the time to go through all the submissions. But as part of me coming on board in May, and as part of our 2nd anniversary, we wanted to make sure that we had some more people, more authors coming in, and we got a very good response, very happy, and we, now I have to go through them. But
I wish you luck.
Thank you, but I'll be starting
You don't
that.
have anything else to do.
No, I'm
It's not like you have any other edits or
fine.
you don't have a business to help run or anything. No, not you.
But I will start going through those in November, and but I have a bunch to get through, so I'm very happy.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, what other like I know that October is winding down, and now we have all of the GRL. But
Right.
do you have any? Are there going to be any other future celebrations for the rest of the month?
For the rest of the month of October, we will have we're having sales all month. So we have had sales all month. We will continue to have sales all month. One of our most amazing books is called Glitzerland by Alexis Hall.
Yay!
And we're coming out with a 5,000-word prologue. Epilogue, 5,000-word epilogue of Glitzerland at the end of the month. And that'll be free and available. You don't have to pay for that. So that is one of the things that we're doing. Doing something else. I don't remember.
Well, you'll find out.
For Christmas,
There we
they
go.
are doing a fundraiser for the Ali Forney Center. And for those that don't know, the Ali Forney Center provides beds and support to gay kids who have been born to the wrong parents, baby, and do not have people that are going to celebrate them.
In New York City.
In New York City.
And the Ali Forney Center was hit hard, very hard, by Hurricane Sandy last year. And so what happened was I was inviting authors to write for this charity bundle that we put together at the same time that I was watching the news come in about Hurricane Sandy, because I'm from New York City area, and I was just watching everything just go under.
Wow.
And so it just fit. And so what the theme for the charity bundle this year is called Home for the Holidays. And we have a novel by Amy Lane that is awesome. It's about a guy who goes away to college and he comes back for his first Thanksgiving and he kisses another guy and is thrown out of the house at Thanksgiving. And it's about the month between Thanksgiving and Christmas and how he survives and how he finds his family. Anyway,
I'm already grabbing that.
It's awesome.
All of the bundle will be mine.
And then we have a book by Z.A. Maxfield, one by Amy Lane, I said that already. Z.A. Maxfield, Allie Blue, and L.B. Gregg. L.B. Gregg is about a boy band member, and that is awesome. And 20% of the proceeds of both publisher and author will go to the Ali Forney Center.
That's amazing. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I wish it was.
So if you don't buy anything else, buy that.
$4.
You're helping kids who need your help.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Great ad person. You think about hiring?
My marketer. That's why she's with me. Not attached to the hip.
We've been attached to the hip all weekend. So.
Which is why I moved the chairs together, because there's just no way I could separate them. Just saying. So on Twitter, you took over the Riptide Riptide Twitter account for a little while. So I'm like, okay, it was enough. You mentioned that you're now pretty much living the dream with this job as editor. What did you do before signing up with Riptide?
A lot.
From the first moment I walked onto a college campus when I was an undergrad, I wanted to be a college professor. So I have 3 degrees in English.
Wow.
Yep. I am currently
Because you
actually.
need 3.
Yeah. So I have a BA, a master's, and then a PhD from the University of Michigan.
Shouldn't we be calling you doctor?
Yes, you can call me
wow.
doctor. That's fine. But yeah, I am a doctor, but not the medical kind. And I. Excuse me. I have a tenured position at the moment at the Fayetteville State University in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I'm officially on leave of absence from that at the moment, but probably won't be going back, she says to her employers. But
Just make sure they don't get the link. You'll be fine.
I originally studied 18th century novel. I'm a Jane Austen scholar. I have Jane Austen's handwriting tattooed on my arm, and I love Jane Austen, and I moved from the 18th century to popular romance, and so I have, I think, 4 published academic articles on popular romance fiction.
Cool.
Suzanne Brockman, J.R. Ward, Joey Hill, and then just a kind of a generic romance fiction. So
That is awesome. You really are living the dream.
yeah, so I studied it as an academic, and then I made the decision and the choice to move over to editing, and Riptide was amazing, and Alex and Rachel took me on and have trained me up, and now I'm an editor there, so it's amazing. I love it.
So, I know that you've written academic journals, but you've not written fiction.
No, I'm actually unusual in the digital realm, I think, in that I'm an editor who has absolutely no aspirations
To be a writer.
whatsoever to be a writer.
So do you think not being a writer gives you a different perspective when you're editing someone's work?
As
We're
somebody
all
who's
readers.
not a writer,
We're
I
all
don't know.
readers.
I mean, I know my academic work, my academic training and my academic background is certainly something that I continue to use as an editor. One of the things that I studied as an academic was something called narratology, which is the theory of the structure of novels and how the novels are put together, and if you can put them together, you can take them apart. And taking them apart as an academic is very similar to taking them apart as an editor. It's just as an academic you say, the authors did this and this and this, isn't that interesting? And as an editor you say, hey author, you're doing this and this and this and you need to fix it.
I was given a very live demonstration by Alex about the Riptide editing process. It was very entertaining.
Yes. Yeah, it comes kind of like dripping with comments, and I tend to make about 1,000 comments on line edits of about a 60,000 word novel. So.
Holy shit.
Yes.
It's extensive, but it comes out excellent work every time. Every time I pick up a Riptide book, I know I'm getting quality.
Thank you, and that is our commitment. Our commitment is to make sure every single book that we publish has rainbow content, and every single book that we publish is of the highest quality. And that quality starts with the author, then into the editing, the covers, the layout, the proofreading, everything. That the product is very, very important to us because that's what we produce.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point for aspiring fiction writers to
Yeah.
know. Editing is necessary, and all of those authors that you love and think their stuff is so awesome, they get edited too.
Right.
They get edited to death.
And
Not to death. We bring out the life of
and
the book,
that
like the
most
voice of the
writers
book.
enjoy being
Right. Yeah,
edited.
they really do.
Because it's
Yeah,
like,
we do.
you know, and it's like, hey, okay, I didn't see what you were doing there, but oh, now I get it and I understand, and
Yeah.
I can do this so much better. Thank you for pointing it out.
Right. I see editing as the author has given me this picture. Picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So they've given me this picture, and the very center of the picture is in beautiful focus. And it's amazing, and you can see the heart and the soul of that picture, and it's right there. And what I do is I make the entire picture look like that. So instead of just the center of the picture where you can see the heart of the story, I take all of the book and I make sure that everything is in focus and everything is perfect and beautiful.
That is such a great description.
I was just about to say that. Like, wow, that's perfect.
Well, and you know, and if you're an aspiring writer and you get tons of edits, honestly, the more edits you get, the easier it is to get where you're going. Because my editor, who is now a friend of mine, and so that's funny, but I have sent him things, and he has emailed me back and been like,
no.
do better. And that's all I get is,
It's not very couple.
Thanks.
Do better, and or you can do better than this.
Oh well,
And I'm
that's a little less passive aggressive.
and I'm like, fine. And then of course I do better and send it back to him, and he's like, thank you, honey. That's what I wanted. And I'm like,
I've had one of my authors say that they sent me a like a statue that's kind of, you've got the vague shape of a book in there, but you can't really, it's very, very rough. And then I kind of like chop away all the bits that they don't need.
There's a book.
And there's a book, and it's a perfect
That's
book.
so awesome. So I have one more question
Sure.
for you. What does Riptide have planned for year 3?
For our third anniversary? For year 3.
For year 3 in general, because I'm
year
assuming we're
3.
going to have an anniversary.
Right, we're actually booked up through the end of June with releases at the moment, so we're very happy with that. One of the authors we're really excited about is S.E. Jakes, who writes romantic suspense, military, mercenary romances. We have a series with her at the moment called Hell or High Water, that's 4 books. We have another one that's in the same universe, but it's a start of a new series called Dirty Deeds, which is awesome. We are still working on a couple of other series with her, so she should have a bunch of releases next year. Our charity bundle next year, which we already have set, we already have worked out, and we have
Great.
4 authors already signed up. Our charity bundle next year is actually going to be for the It Gets Better campaign.
Cool.
It Gets Better project started by
all things I love.
Dan Savage and his husband, his
Who is
totally cute
God,
husband.
he is adorable.
Terry started the It Gets Better campaign.
Dan would agree with you.
Dan, oh, he
Have
does.
you seen him in his
Repeatedly.
underwear?
Yes, I've seen the picture. I've actually posted that picture to Tumblr going, this is another reason why I like Dan Savage. He married that.
So it's the 20% will be going to It Gets Better.
Sweet.
And the theme for that one is Share the Love, and it's going to be menage romance.
Nice.
Yes. So
That was
we have Jane David doing male space opera. We have Sydney Croft, who is the 2 New York Times bestselling romance authors, Larissa Ione and Stephanie Tyler, write as Sydney Croft, and they're giving us a male in one of their universes. We have, let's see if I can remember, Charlotte Stein, who's an erotica romance author, and she's writing a male-female vampire story.
That'll be interesting.
And I'm going to completely embarrass myself by not remembering the fourth one.
That's okay.
Nope.
Oh, right. Make sure I have this right. Male, female means the men touch.
Yes, oh yes.
Okay.
Because we're a rainbow publisher, it's very important for us to make sure that that there is rainbow content in our stories, and that the rainbow characters, the characters of the same gender, or the trans characters, the intersex characters, have their own happy ending as well. So
Cool. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for your time. I
Thank you
really
so much.
appreciate this. Guys, get your butt onto Gay Voices at the Huffington Post and to RiptidePublishing.com. If you haven't heard of Riptide, stop what you're doing right now. Pause. Even though we're almost done, get your butt over there and then come back. So,
thank you.
I hope you guys had a good time for the last night of GRL. I'm ready to rip it up. So, I guess I will catch you guys later. Have a good one.
Bye.